What's poppin'? Today we're gonna be talking about the short-term rental restrictions around Austin, Texas, and kind of the new restrictions that are coming in and what could be coming next and what the actual effect of these restrictions are going to look like. So I'll give some backstory to start off. So initially, about 2 years ago, it was very, very difficult to get a short-term rental permit in Austin. So today we're in May 2025. So yeah, in like 2023, 2022, it was really difficult to get a short-term rental permit in Austin. Pretty much your only option was to get a owner-occupied permit if you had a property actually in the city limits of Austin. So when we were selling short-term rentals and managing short-term rentals, a lot of times we would do stuff in the suburbs. We'd buy stuff in the ETJ of Austin, which is kind of like a life hack if you know about it. And so recently, the restrictions that Austin had in place was actually overturned by the state of Texas. And pretty much now you just have to apply for a permit and you can get a permit within like 3 or 4 weeks. Sometimes up to 6 weeks is what I've seen, but right around that 3 or 4 week mark is really what we're seeing it take. The city of Austin though has introduced some new restrictions that we're having to deal with recently, and there's some new ones on the horizon. So the legislative session, the next legislative session is going to be October or August. That's when they're going to introduce some new restrictions. So what changed recently was if you have a short-term rental and it's in the city of Austin, the platforms are automatically deducting the city hotel tax. So before, people were kind of getting around the city hotel tax by not having a permit. It's an 11% city hotel tax. And now, even if you don't have a permit, that's automatically being deducted from your payout from the platform. So Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, they're automatically gonna be paying that out to the city, which if you already had a permit, that makes your life easier. And it's also going to affect the profitability of deals that only work for people, you know, if they didn't have a permit and they're not paying that tax. So now, currently as we stand, there's no reason to not get a permit. You really should, because whenever the next legislative session happens, there's going to be additional restrictions that they're going to introduce, and it's probably going to be harder to get a permit, is what I'm expecting. So I'm recommending everybody rush to get their permit now while you can, because what I believe is going to happen is they're likely going to follow in the footsteps of San Antonio. So San Antonio does something similar. The platforms now pay automatically the hotel tax to the city of San Antonio, and also to be listed as a short-term rental in the city of San Antonio, meaning under 30 days, you actually have to have a permit. So if you don't have a permit on your property, you can't even be listed on the platforms. So like I said, rush to get your permit, get it now, so that way whenever new restrictions come into place, you can be grandfathered into that. If you're a short-term rental host in the city of Austin, you need to watch this video, because it's about to get much more difficult and a lot harder to operate a short-term rental in the city of Austin. Essentially, after October's legislative session, they're looking at introducing things like density requirements, meaning that you won't be able to have more than X amount of short-term rentals in one specific area. There's some conversation about not allowing like LLCs to hold short-term rentals in the city of Austin. And this is something that you need to keep an eye on. It's really from the city's efforts to prevent these big businesses that come in and just buy a bunch of property and run them all as short-term rentals, and they're trying to improve neighborhoods. And truly, I'm in favor of healthy restrictions around short-term rentals. I think limiting supply is important, and I think it's important that we're taking care of the actual neighborhoods in the city. Again, what I think the future of this is going to look like is the city of Austin's going to follow in San Antonio's footsteps. So I can't recommend enough how important it is to get your short-term rental permit if you're in the city of Austin as soon as possible. Are you thinking about buying a short-term rental under an LLC in the city of Austin? Here's what the city of Austin is thinking about doing about that. The city of Austin is introducing, or they're discussing, some new restrictions around the ability to actually own and operate a short-term rental that is owned under an LLC. And that's mostly an effort to prevent these big companies that are coming and buying large swaths of property and running them all as short-term rentals and making the neighbors mad, and have these big party houses. So that's really the initiative. I'm honestly hoping that they won't introduce that restriction, because I think that there's a big reason why just individual investors want to purchase under an LLC to protect themselves. However, we'll see what the city of Austin does, and there's always going to be different things that we can do, ways to kind of go around that. People are going to figure things out, but we'll keep you guys updated on this, of course. What do you think? Like, let me know in the comments. Do you think this is a good thing for investors? Do you think this is a good thing for homeowners, good thing for neighborhoods? Let me know what you think. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It just helps get our message out to more people. And shameless plug, here at CRIBS, what we do is we help people buy, build out, manage, and operate their short-term rentals, especially if you're located in the Austin market, but really we can help people anywhere. If you're interested in more information on any of that, please just hit us up. Oh, and also watch these other videos. They're either up here or down here, or I don't know wherever they're at, but watch more videos.